The setup between this INnoVation and PartinG match. Let's get this ready to go. As in the top left-hand side, our blue Terran player is INnoVation. Taking on our red Protoss. In the bottom right, it is PartinG. I don't know what clan GP is. I think I just read earlier Bomber and Super joined a team called GP, but PartinG I don't think will be joining GP. I wouldn't imagine, because he's still on DPG, right? I mean, I'd be very surprised if he swapped. As we set this up and get this going. Look at this. PartinG is so good. INnoVation's trying to get him to spoil, and PartinG's just like, I'm not telling you. I'm not in a very good mood. Wow, look at PartinG go. Alright, well, as we set this off, a bit of fun between them. As we get this up and rolling, we do see a gateway dropping in to the center here already, and we do see the probe coming across to the top left-hand side. So a little bit of build-up here, a little bit of TvP. So I'm having a little bit of a read of what they're bantering on about. It's surprisingly hard to cast while trying to read something else at the same time. I'm just trying to see what they're saying. Obviously, you guys can read it on the screen as well. As they have just... INnoVation's been very talkative lately in games, and it's very fun when he's very talkative, because he's one of the funnier players, I feel like, when you let him chitter-chatter and discuss and talk and stuff like that. Probe of PartinG. We'll be pulling on back to the bottom right-hand side with the Reaper on the way up here from INnoVation as well. Bringing this down across the map to... I'll just go probe hunting, basically. As we do have the setup ready to go. And the INnoVation's CC was a little bit late because he was distracting himself. Typical INnoVation. Look at this. Can't even talk and do a build order. Is this guy even a professional? If you can't talk and shit-talk your opponent and build your CC on time, like, who even are you? Like, has he even played 10,000 games of StarCraft yet? Disappointed. As we set this up, Adept comes over and will get the SCV to slow down the bunker. The lone Marine is obviously really in trouble here. The Reaper on the way back to help. That's already 2 SCVs down. Now here's the Reaper, which can, of course, kind of kite the Adept a little bit. This is some really nice pressure from PartinG and a big slowdown on INnoVation's initial build order here. As now a Stalker shows up as well. This SCV really wanted to go and just finish this off, but it's not going to happen. A Hellion coming out, but against the Stalker too, it's kind of tough, as you will see the Hellion here, but I feel like you need a couple more units. I mean, comes in, gets a shot or so off. Obviously, the Hellion can at least repair. Oh, interesting. The Stalker's invited into the main base to come and play. INnoVation drops the question mark. As the Stalker comes to visit, he loses the Reaper, loses a Marine. I'm actually not sure if that was... I'm not sure who that's good for. Like, a Stalker kill is nice. There was more damage done. Another Stalker shows up, and INnoVation, he went for the CC build time, not the bunker. 3 Marines now and a Hellion. Is this enough? SCV coming through. If the SCV even takes a shot or two, maybe gives the units a little bit more time, as the bunker won't finish, but the Adept goes down, and that should be just about it. This Hellion should be the target of the Stalker, because if you don't get rid of the Hellion can actually chase the Stalker across the map. As this was a pretty interesting build opening. Obviously, bunker delayed, the command center delayed, but PartinG does lose a lot of his early units, right? He loses the Adept, he loses the Stalker. He has 2 Stalkers still across the map, so they are going to come in, and there's not really much here. 2 Marines will push into that bunker now, but Stalkers can run past it if they would like to. This bunker's kind of low as the medevac goes across the map. I mean, what is at home to defend? Not really anything. Okay, well, Warp Gate has done 3 gates already, because it's just taken us that long to get to this stage of the game. You need to warp in some units right now, because these are a couple of Hellions in this medevac, so they can absolutely chase probes. You know what? These probes are going to have a tough direction to run. I guess they can go back and up. There's a slight gap up on this top side here, but there's not much. 6 probes going down. He will hit a couple more. They were kind of lined up. Obviously hard to get in range, as we're going to be seeing the Marines. At what point do you lift up and get out of here? Loses 1 Hellion. 9 workers killed, though. Not bad. It's definitely damage that INnoVation needed in this game. If he's down 14 workers right now, he's in trouble. Killing 9 probes puts him only 5 workers behind, which is much more manageable as the Terran. Mule's on his side now that orbital command on the natural will be finishing. And this INnoVation comes in with the Liberator. PartinG is once again across the map, looking to keep up the pressure. Adds on a 4th gateway. Now he has already got Blink. So he's going to have a lot he can do here as he's already... I mean, INnoVation just drops one Hellion down to chase some probes. And he's going to get a couple of extra kills. Liberator Siege is up. Well, probes will have to pull again. INnoVation just has to hold the natural expansion against these Blink Stalkers. Tank is on the high ground. Honestly, I mean, this might not be so bad. The bunker might fall, but the tank surviving on the high ground was big. Oh my god, the bunker doesn't go down. Enough repair gets through. That's obviously huge here, as we do see the Stalkers now trying to recall. A few Marines will lift up and leave Blink available, and he will blink in, and that is a dead medevac. But man, INnoVation just kills 12 more probes. Now PartinG is definitely behind. 4 gateways doesn't exactly help him in the future of this game. He's going to be lacking tech. And he's just not really done enough at all. Wow, I can't believe this bunker survived over here. That's insane. That's actually crazy. As you are going to be seeing the game stand up. Is this how you lose a one game? I mean, it's obviously a strong position for PartinG, but you've got to remember, for how much he did lose his units. And he was then out of position with 2 Stalkers to keep pressuring. So his base was completely open for the Terran to deal damage. He left nothing at home, and that's his mistake. PartinG says he said you weren't greedy about this turn, but you're playing as hard as in GSL. I already lost if it was in GSL. Wow. These guys chatting as the Blinking will kill the Siege Tank. It's a force field on the ramp, so PartinG will start to kill a lot of these SCVs across the map. And Auto Turret Harassment will get 5 probes. Siege Tanks get siege though, and now these Stalkers starting to take some real fire. INnoVation's natural still in a lot of trouble here though, as we do see the Stalker cleaned out as well. Rest of these units continue to fight. Sentry gets picked off. Couple of tanks trying to move further down this ramp. Makes it so that these Stalkers are kind of backed into a corner now. INnoVation losing a lot more SCVs. Going to be seeing an engineering bay to the side here. Does just get cancelled. Now some more SCVs being picked off behind this natural mineral line. 2 more Stalkers of PartinG on the top side of the map, and well, Siege Tank fire is still real good to keep those Stalkers at bay. And for the moment, INnoVation will hold on at the front of this natural. Work accounts even. I mean, that's kind of what PartinG needed. This goes from one way to the other. The thing is, PartinG is still pretty all in, but he has the mobility to move around and take advantage. He's going to deny Stim Pack, which is obviously huge. A couple more Stalkers going down. Marauders coming up. Start Stim on the other tech lab. 3rd CC from INnoVation. Taking some shots as well. Something he's been able to afford throughout the course of all of this. Now this Siege Tank here as well. Does INnoVation have enough to fight? I don't think he does. This might just be a few too many Stalkers. Has to pull the SCVs. He can afford that with the triple orbital, but not if he loses it as much. Loses the reactor on the starport too. Trying to move this tank further forwards again. Not sieged up yet. PartinG's going to blink forward against 4 Marauders. The SCV is here to fight too. Couple of Marines spawning. The next Marauder's quite far away in production. As all the Marauders are now down. The Stalkers are hurting, but INnoVation will continue to be chased by these Stalkers. I mean, more and more SCVs going down. Here comes a new Marine or 2. A Marauder popping out as well. A second Marauder now showing up. PartinG is beginning to blink to the low ground. Maybe feeling as though he has done enough. 20 workers ahead. And he can actually come into this natural now, which is undefended because of obviously all the harassment up in the main base. What was this game? From PartinG to INnoVation to PartinG again. As this continued pressure of the Blink Stalkers has found INnoVation out of position. Not quite where he needs to be. The cancel on Stim is huge as well, because now he would have had Stim to fight with these Marauders, and that would have made a big difference as well. We don't mind here being targeted down. PartinG looking as though he's going to get that. The Raven comes in for some auto turrets. That will actually help to get a couple of kills, but there's just not enough damage output here. Widowmine goes down. PartinG blinks up to the high ground, and INnoVation does his trademark question mark GG. PartinG takes game 1 of the and all of that good stuff. So do check that out. Patreon.com/WardiTV. What's the transaction fee? It's literally like if you donate, like if you put like $20 on Patreon, Patreon takes like half $1 when it transfers it over to me or something like that. So do check it out. As we have in the top right hand side, our red Protoss player. This is PartinG taking on the blue Terran in the bottom left hand side, INnoVation. Yeah, it's nothing more than like if you were donating via PayPal or anything like that. And like I say, it goes directly into towards tournament prize pools as we go into our second map of this best of 3. And just going to be seeing what PartinG can pull out this time around. Kind of a wacky game number 1 then in the end. As you set this up and get this going. Do you build your CC in base this time? Terran players will tell you that building a CC in base is not the answer to this, because the CC in base actually slows you down so much from where you're meant to be. Obviously, you're meant to, you know, not die to an Adept and a Stalker, and that's the thing. You're not meant to let that first Adept get so out of control that you end up in the position INnoVation was in last time around. So, you know, when you're at the highest level of play, these guys will not go CC in the main because they know they can defend these kinds of attacks with a low ground command center. They just need to not make the mistakes. And so obviously they don't expect to make the mistakes, hence high ground CC is not so great. As this is actually Nexus then, of course, this shouldn't be as quick of an Adept, and this shouldn't be pressure super early on. What are these guys talking about? INnoVation, your monthly income is over $10,000. Wow. These guys having some chitter chatter. Apparently PartinG making the big bucks. As we do have the Reaper coming across to the upper right, is going to be moving through, and the Adept chrono boosting up, but again, no real pressure this time on INnoVation's side of the map. He'll get up to his CC, etc. much more comfortably this time around. And just going to be seeing the Twilight Council dropping down from PartinG in the main base, as we do see the Adept chasing down this Reaper. So Reaper is going to be chased away. Apparently INnoVation losing motivation after his first loss here. Hey guys, don't forget, if you like PartinG and you want me to be more like PartinG, you can also subscribe and give me $10,000 a month. You know, if you guys are just, you know, wondering what to do to help me out here, like, you know, I could be more like PartinG if that's gonna work for you guys. As this Adept tries to shade up, will be blocked by the wall off. Reaper in the Marine there to cover the Adept coming in. There's a fast Dark Shrine from PartinG, so from one cheeky opening to another, this one featuring the Dark Templar. As we do have the Robo Facility building up in the main base. And 2 more gateways from PartinG dropping down on the natural. So a bit of a build-up here as we get this underway. Warp Gate will be finishing up shortly. We do see a Medevac on the way out. Widow Mine, couple extra Marines. All of this coming through for the moment. As we do just see the... Again, a couple of extra gates finishing up in a few moments' time. And yeah, this DT play getting ready to go. Now, a lot of this comes down to... obviously crisis management, because I don't think INnoVation will have a scout on this necessarily. Obviously, you can then still come down to what can these Widow Mines do across the map? Are you able to, you know, do you save scans in case of a DT opener? Typically, the answer to that should be yes. As he goes double tech lab, he might even start to build a Raven. Now, the Raven's quite far away, but there is a world in which you can maybe survive long enough to get a Raven out, as we do see this Adept trying to move up this ramp. A few Marines hanging around. He's going to kind of let the Adept through there. The Medevac misses the Warp Prism as well, so no info there, but there's the Raven. So time is ticking before we actually have just permanent detection on the map. Albeit, obviously, I mean, permanent detection, but it can only be in one place at a time. And as we're just going to be seeing the few Widow Mines moving in towards the natural at the moment. An Adept on the natural goes down. Here come the DTs. Raven about 20 seconds away from finishing. So INnoVation at the moment does not have a scan. So this is the issue. You need to save SCVs, but you also need to preserve your army, because you need Marines to actually kill the DTs once the Raven comes out. Widow Mines across the map did find 3 probes. A good response here from PartinG, as 2 of those Widow Mines will load back up and get ready to fight again at some stage. Raven is out. He will actually scan the DT on the low ground, but now the Raven's here. Is the crisis management good enough from INnoVation? The Raven given that detection. None of this will go down, though, from PartinG, and that's obviously a big feature here, too. Keeping all of these DTs alive is absolutely huge. It's really nice. He's going to go for 1 more SCV as well. Good little Prism Micro. Yeah, it's really big. He's actually just continuing to style on INnoVation right now, just dropping DTs where he knows he can get kills. As he comes back into the natural, the rest of these SCVs will pull away. Has a couple DTs coming through. Warp Prism loads back up and will go to the back of this main base. Viking going to keep firing, and oh my god, he gets it with the auto turret. So in the end, he is able to get away. Bro, PartinG says, please, bro. What the hell? Auto turret is a great call from INnoVation. Without the auto turret, it doesn't go down. What a snipe that is. Wow, INnoVation just kills the Prism. So after not cleaning up anything, it looks really bad for you, right, as INnoVation. But to get the Prism and the DTs, shuts down further aggression. And on top of shutting down the further aggression, you're just finally getting something back for all of that harassment. As apparently the medevac flew in at the same time we were watching this DT micro. Not sure what happened there. Maybe it just flew in towards the Stalkers or so, I'd imagine. I mean, there's a fair amount of Stalkers. Prism, a new one coming across the map to try and deal some damage here. One tank out on the low ground. Not much defensively in the main. And if that's where the blink is, if you blink up here, Raven kill, Marine kills, tank out of location, Stimpak a prime target, INnoVation could be in some real trouble. As he goes into 5 racks off 2 bases, he's looking to play a very aggressive game. He's just not set up for it yet. New tank is out as the Stalkers blink up in the main. Tank on the low ground will relocate a little bit. So if you blink forwards here as Partin, you're in trouble. Stimpak's going to die, though. I mean, he gives up some Stalkers for that. It's absolutely worth it. He now dives in on this. All the turrets will drop to try and help. Both the siege tanks will go down. How many Stalkers do you lose for this? There's, what, 6 or so left? Prism sets up a warp in as the Raven has energy, just gets the auto turret down. Marine's coming out of the bunker as well at the moment as we see the Prism helping to micro these Stalkers across the map. A Viking lands for a few probes in the meanwhile, so a bit more damage being done. Stalkers blink away. God, the biggest thing here from INnoVation is the loss of Stim. It's another huge slowdown. It's a huge shutdown. But PartinG doesn't have the Stalker count he had before, so that definitely hurts. INnoVation already on his way to 1-1 upgrades as well. And still not doing bad in the work count, 50 to 55. Remember, it is 2 bases from INnoVation, no 3rd CC, so he's absolutely looking as this is a bad blink. Lots of Stalkers going down. PartinG just able to save 1 extra there. As this from INnoVation is a 2 base all-in, right? This is 5 racks. This is get across the map and deal as much damage as possible. That is the goal here from INnoVation. As PartinG with these few Stalkers hanging around out the front. There's Warp Prism thinking about maybe moving in toward the main base. Tech Lab finishing up on the barracks. Going to see the reactor or 2. As long as he can get Stimpak up, combat shields will build in a very precarious position. Somewhere you can absolutely strike his PartinG and take down that upgrade. 1-1 still coming in on these forges, so still setting that up. We're going to be seeing still Stimpak and combat shields obviously very delayed from the rest of the 1-1. Wait, there is a 3rd CC. Oh, God. Well, Wardy, you are very blind and you're very dumb. You know, next time I'll double check the 3cc with my eyes super zoomed in. My bad, guys. Well, as you do see the bio coming across, it's not a 2 base all in at all. As you do see the... You know what? That's so dumb as well, because he built the 3cc and he delayed it with the frickin' DT. Like, I even talked about this. Like, I'm just so dumb. And as you're going to be seeing this army, Stalkers trying to come on through. I'm just going to see the Stalkers able to push this back and... Well, the rest of the bio coming back around from INnoVation. I kind of like his position right now, though. Marines pressing forwards. A couple tanks get siege. I mean, finally, Stim and combat shields about to finish. PartinG goes straight into 2-2. Something INnoVation is not set up for at all. No armory in play, and that's actually a true fact. He's no armory, not a... armory that's just invisible to my eyes. Marines coming in here as well. A couple of Zealots going to get picked off, and we're going to be seeing the few Stalkers on the low ground still picking away at the orbital. Doesn't get shut down, though, which obviously hurts as well. The orbital is very low. I'm not sure what was... I mean, obviously the few Stalkers, but the tanks hit it as well? The orbital got really low there, so... It will repair up as, at this point, INnoVation just has such a large army. I think he can go across the map and just make this work out. So away we go. Marines, medevacs, tanks, all of this setting up together. Coming across to the upper right-hand side and getting ready to fight this. INnoVation. A ton of bio units here. Here come the SCVs pulling as well. He kind of feels like he maybe has... He just pulls a few SCVs. Not even that many, but a little bit of a buffer. I mean, for INnoVation, it's the dream timing. Storm is not done just yet. 2-2 is not done. So many investments that aren't ready. No splash damage on the map, apart from an Archon or so. I mean, it's just the sort of fights as INnoVation you shouldn't ever really lose. The SCVs that are being lost are the ones pulled in the army. And these tanks are going to have a great position on the 3rd base. And the Storm is in the back of this 3rd base as well. So the one lifeline possibility for PartinG is really not exactly placed well to survive, as INnoVation knows that Storm is there. And he comes in, targets the Temple Archives, Storm denied, and that means you are basically going to win this game. Even 2-2 upgrades don't really win against this much bio. I mean, you're not going to have time to wait for your 2-2 either. Tank fire is targeted on the back unit, so it doesn't friendly fire either. And that's going to be GG's for PartinG, who will have to get out of this game in the next couple of moments. INnoVation's going to tie this up 1-1 and take us into a game number 3. As the biostims in, INnoVation takes the second map, ties it up 1-1, and we are going to a third and final game. Number 3, let's kick this off, is in the top left-hand side. Our blue Terran player is INnoVation. And in the bottom right, we do have our Red Brothers player, PartinG. Game 3 of this is he's going to open this time with the proxy gateway to bring the aggression here in game number 3 of this series. Let's see what this will be. Looks as though just a singular gate to get this started. INnoVation says I also need some money. As we have some fun between them. I mean, PartinG with this proxied gate opening. Just the one gate, so a gate where you can expand behind, but obviously putting a lot of pressure behind all of this, as we do see SCVs mining away. This probe of PartinG coming up and nibbling away a little bit. Oh, these guys. We've had some really chatty players today, haven't we? We've had some really chatty players. We do have the SCV moving back out through the center of the map, so we'll be heading down bottom right to see what's up. Now, the thing is this probe blocks. INnoVation is not far away. He's going to see in a moment or two no nexus. When you see no nexus, you're going to be a little bit concerned. Why is it delayed? Like, it's not... It's there, but it is late. So it's there, but it is late. As we're going to be seeing this SCV of INnoVation just coming through the full check-in. So, I mean, you should be aware of something. And now the Zealot comes through and INnoVation just instantly cancels the command center. Bunker's on the high ground. And he's going to be able, with this, to send the Reaper across the map. And that's obviously amazing because there's no unit at home. So now this Reaper can put on a lot of pressure. So, yes, you're giving up the low ground, but you have a counter to it. And with the Marine out, now you're holding this high ground. Second Zealot, now a Stalker on the way. He actually recalls Zealot home. So he recalls 2 Zealots and a probe to try and chase down the Reaper. This does mean the Reaper can't just freely hit probes, of course. Has to micro a little bit more. You know, has to be a little bit careful about that. As that's a good block. Oh, amazing block from PartinG. Somehow the Reaper gets out of there. That was a hell of a block. Ha, he says, laughing at the escape. This Reaper just can't quite go down. And oh no! The Stalker is stuck. Oh no, PartinG. From one disaster to another. Oh my god. So first the Reaper gets out. Then your Stalker gets stuck. What an absolute disaster. PartinG. What is it with us in game 3s today? Like, game 3s today have just been quick and dirty. And this one was quick and dirty. And then PartinG accidentally smashed mud on his own face. I mean, that is... Yeah, I mean... Oh, man. Well, INnoVation's probably like, well, where's your Stalker, dude? Like, did you just give up on your gateway? I mean, Twilight Council starts from PartinG here. He'll try and move in towards... I mean, I imagine Blink, right? It's kind of the standard way to go, but I wonder if he even just says... Tries to do something weird, because if you kind of, like, rush into charge... If you rush into charge, you can maybe do something here where it's like... You can catch a Terran trying to be overly aggressive or so. Couple of probes going down, as we do have Reaper is just continuing to be so annoying. It hasn't really had many kills until now, but now it's really racking up kills, and you know, throughout all this time it's denied mining. It's kind of pushed units away. It's going to be a 4th probe kill, and the Reaper is finally going to go down to this Stalker. The Stalker, he wants to go home so bad. Oh, he just wants to leave, and he's just stuck there. He'll get out when he gets Blink if he can survive that long. You just have to learn how to blink, buddy. Just remember how to blink. You've got this. No, the Cyclone's coming. INnoVation. We'll see the Stalker. Well, actually, INnoVation's going to free the Stalker. As the recall comes in, PartinG's just going to let it take it home. He's going to spend the energy. As just going to be seeing this pylon going down. Obviously, unpowers the gateway. So PartinG saves his Stalker. I mean, Blink on the way up. Robo dropping down, and will replace the gateway, of course, to go up to 2 gates in total for this right now. But this is not the kind of scenario you want to be in as PartinG. This is not pretty. It's not clean. Don't think I can win this game, says PartinG. So I will just do a blink all in as he drops down the forge. Ay. INnoVation says, I know it's DT. Building a missile turret. Oh. INnoVation's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to be safe. Raven on the way, missile turret to cover. And now we're going to be seeing Marines and a couple of siege tanks here from INnoVation starting to move out onto the map. So INnoVation's genuinely like, yeah, I actually think it's DTs, but he's actually wrong. And there is going to be Blink Stalkers here as he moves over. Raven on the way. The thing is, I feel like if you think this is DT properly and truly, and you truly believe it, I don't know how quickly you really move out like this. Like, yes, the Raven will get here, but you don't have scan saved. You're dropping mules, so I think he feels like the timing has passed for it to be DT. Now he's going to try and take advantage of his army, which of course is very good. Stalkers blink forwards as the siege tanks are coming in. Now these Stalkers are in a very weird spot, kiting away to the right-hand side. Well, now these tanks are going to be able to siege towards the natural. I guess these Stalkers are just waiting for the opportunity to blink into this. So here we go. Marine firepowers. The tanks get taken down very quickly. Marines are going to be able to chase those Stalkers away back down this ramp. They will blink away once more. The rest of this army coming back over towards the natural expansion. Stalkers still coming through. A couple probes going to be picked off, and we will see shield batteries trying to build. I mean, INnoVation trying to make the most of these Marines that will never make it home, right? I mean, you're playing against Blink Stalkers, you know, you're not designed to make it home. Because at the same time, these probes want to get back down to the low ground. They'll be force fielded away. PartinG will hide a third base to the left-hand side of the map, as INnoVation already has his finished. Just in case you're wondering about the status of this game, INnoVation's looking good. I mean, can't do much for a while because of lack of stim. But it's a late third from PartinG. I mean, he is playing Colossi, which typically you take a later third with anyways, but 7 minutes is still very late. And of course, now he proxies it to try and maybe fake a 2-base Colossus all in. It's going to be seeing the couple of extra barracks building in the main. Going to be seeing the few Stalkers coming up to the top side as well. A Nexus builds in the bottom left-hand corner. Observer making its way up to the top left-hand side. So he's going to be moving into the main very soon. Raven here to cover against the Observer. Observer will not make it in just yet, as we will have the, again, a few extra Marines on the way out. Don't think the Stalkers will do much here. If they make it into this main and deny stim, I mean, look at this defense against the on the upgrades. Double tank Marines. I mean, he's just defended well everywhere. INnoVation is playing a very safe game right now. He's very happy with his position. He's very happy to let this sort of play out for the moment. Stalkers nearly get the Raven, but not enough to get the one-shot. And there's the recall on the probes, so PartinG can mine the bottom left of the map. So third base in action. At least PartinG's able to get that underway. He's now going to be seeing these 5 extra gates coming up. Just going to be seeing an extra Colossus coming through. INnoVation will float his own third out into position here. How long until INnoVation? I mean, INnoVation doesn't check for the third right now, but I feel like as soon as he checks and sees no third, but also hasn't been attacked, he's going to instantly think, well, what are you doing? Are you hiding a base? Because it's very late for some kind of 2-base play. INnoVation double scans. I think he doesn't believe it, though. You can see this Marine's going to head out on the map. These Marines are heading out on the map. He knows something is up. He knows that PartinG likes to hide bases. And he will not fall victim to that here. We'll find this bottom left-hand base right away, and it's just going to take one medevac units over there to start at least slowing down mine. A few Stalkers will warp in as he'll kill off a probe, make that very nearly a second. Maybe PartinG just gets aggressive. Don't give INnoVation the chance to go and deny that base. INnoVation sets up a supply depot wall, help to choke units up as they push through into this. Temple Archives on the way as well. Charge is ready. Not a lot of zealots in this army at the moment. Prism is on its way over as Marine over here kills off a probe trying to set up a 4th base. And INnoVation trying to move down the bottom. But then PartinG's army is here. Tanks will siege up. I mean, the defense from INnoVation is great. Plus, you've got the the Ravens to Interference Matrix, the Colossi as well, if you need help in a fight. Nice scan in the bottom. Just keeping track of where PartinG is trying to move. PartinG doing a good job of keeping Inno busy. The Sense Tower gives him good information, but of course it doesn't last very long when it's that far forward, so it will go down. And PartinG continues to sit around in the center here. Medevac of Marines lift up and pull away to the left-hand side. Warp Prism coming along over to the left as well. It's actually going to fly past through this medevac, which is heading across down to the bottom left, so that will force a few units to reinforce down there. Prism gets intercepted immediately. Oh my god. PartinG, is anything going your way this game? Well, you might find a siege tank for free here as it's wandering forwards. Nope, not even. And now these Marines unloading. Once they stim, shield battery will not keep probes alive very long at all. A few Stalkers warped in for the moment as INnoVation's actually just looking for the fight coming forwards here right away. He's going to go for this. Has a couple of Vikings. The force field does hold back the siege tanks. I mean, there's just so much bio here as INnoVation just strikes, and now sieges up the tanks as well. He'll get a couple of shots with those. There's a couple of Vikings actually looking for a Colossus kill. He doesn't quite get it, but INnoVation is... There's a reason he's able to take this fight. There's a reason he's confident about it, and now PartinG knows INnoVation pushing down this left-hand side is going to be able to deny this base, so he gives it up. He pulls the probes away. Will go to this base he was setting up earlier, where he already has cannons and shield batteries ready as well. I'm just going to be seeing this bottom left nexus cleaned out. Rest of the tanks back up the left-hand side. Prism loads up a few High Templar here as well also. So a few High Templar in this wall. Prism INnoVation still pushing into the center of the map. PartinG with this army. Wants to maybe come around and fight this, but not finding the moment just yet. It's tough. I mean, INnoVation's got a good army. It's very strong. If you can get a couple of tank siege up, then it's amazing. I mean, PartinG hits a storm on the front few units, and the thing is, he doesn't have a High Templar account that's really that scary. His INnoVation's like, you're going to base trade me? Is that the plan here? INnoVation knows it's a base trade because of the scan, so he can instantly start running his way towards the main base, etc. Not only that, he can instantly start defending his own bases, right? So he's already pulling SCVs back. He's floating this orbital away. Yeah, INnoVation just makes it through straight away to this natural expansion now. He just leave the third base alone. So that's something to keep in mind, that is left for PartinG at the moment. Ghosts come out in this main as well, as they're going to have a couple of EMPs to maybe help tank here. With bio units to protect, I mean, these Stalkers will struggle to get up there. Third base will go down in a moment. It's kind of important here that you get into this main and shut down the Nexus before you see a recall, as that's going to be High Templars dropping down here. I mean, all of those will die, but they get some good storms off, so Templars do a little bit of something at least. There's now probes running back to the main base Nexus. PartinG will try and take the upper right fourth base as his next location, but he's running out of steam, and again, there's no way you break up this ramp. INnoVation landed a base over here, starts a couple mules, didn't lose a CC just yet. So PartinG not really going to be mining. No real production left, and INnoVation able to preserve so much on that main. That's going to be the difference as supply blocks come on through. PartinG's going to try and get up in towards a Dark Shrine, but again, there is CCs and orbitals still alive. There's even ghosts to hit EMPs against Dark Temple if needed as well. As PartinG was just in so much trouble. He was never going to fight this army, so trying to initiate a base trade may have been one of his better choices, but it's a choice which, especially when INnoVation sees it coming so soon, was never going to work super well. He tries to break forwards here, and INnoVation just actually pressing a bit further forwards himself. Will lose one orbital, so that's one less scan available as these tanks still sat around. What is this High Templar doing? There's a few High Templar in the back of this main base, hiding in the corner, trying to hit some storms. PartinG has the top right, so he is mining a little bit. Dark Shrine about to come online. PartinG, can he get a DT or two? And even if he does INnoVation not just have the scans? As it depends if he drops down the mules on this natural or not. Rest of this army from PartinG coming across, and you're going to be seeing the orbital already taking some damage. A couple SCVs going down. Rest of this bio army coming through, and there is the orbital being pushed up towards the main base. INnoVation, Vikings and medevacs as the Stalkers blink in here. A couple of Vikings already taking some shots. INnoVation just starting to run up this ramp, and he comes down from the top side as well. The Colossi are flanked. The Stalkers try to blink away, but INnoVation has too much. As we see the rest of this bio coming in, all of these Stalkers are going to be hunted down, and yeah, you've got the top right-hand base here as PartinG, but that is kind of it. INnoVation is dropping a stop on a tech lab, probably build a Raven against the DTs. Just play it super safe right now, as storms in the middle of the map might be alright. In fact, they're very good, but I mean, even still, alright, you're so far behind his pawn, you have basically nothing left. Like, that is genuinely a significant part of your army that you just lost here. Like, it was like half of his army that just went down. As PartinG does not want to give this up, but INnoVation does have control. and he does have this game 3 in the bag. I mean, I can't believe this game started with a proxy gateway that Stalker got stuck behind. That in itself is kind of wild. To scan over on the natural, and there's GG called. INnoVation will take game number 3 of this series and will win it out. So INnoVation is really on fire right now. Having a good time at the moment in this group here. Currently on top 3-0.